Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today I am here for part 2 of why we self-sabotage. So if you missed part 1, I've put the link down below and I suggest that you go and watch that one first. In that video we talked about one of the reasons why we sabotage ourselves is because staying how we are, staying in our current state, no matter how uncomfortable it is safe and it's comfortable and it's predictable and we know how to do that, and we have that part of our brain that doesn't want us to go and explore new lands and new territories because we don't know what that's going to be like. So if you haven't watched that, like I said, go do that first and then come back to this one. So today I want to give you the second most important thing to understand about self-sabotage so that you can start to move forward and heal from your self-sabotaging behaviors. So the second thing to understand about self-sabotage is that every single thing that you do, including your self-sabotaging behavior, has a positive intention. And most of us don't look at our bad habits this way, right? Most of us look at our bad habits, most of us look at our self-sabotaging behavior, and we think, oh, this is this bad, stupid thing that I do that only has bad results, and I don't know why I keep doing it. But the truth is that our human brains, as amazing as they are completely incapable of doing something on a repeated basis that serves no purpose, that does not give you a result that you want, okay? So to understand that, you need to know, so like for instance, say you were standing in a room and you had a little small knife and you were just like repeatedly like stabbing your hand. Eventually, if there's no payoff for doing that, there's just pain, only pain, you're going to stop. You're not going to be able to keep doing it. It's the same thing with, if you start an exercise program and you see no results, you don't feel better, you don't get what you want to get out of it, you see no positive intention, even though, you see no positive results, even though, you're probably helping to condition your heart, like things are going on inside your body that definitely give you a positive intention. If you can't perceive that there's any positive results, you're not going to be able to keep doing it. No matter how much willpower you have, you cannot keep doing it because your brain won't let you, right? We cannot continue to do something that has no positive payoff, and this is just a part of human psychology. So that means that if you have a self-sabotaging behavior, overeating or drinking or any of these things that we have as a society that is a self-sabotaging behavior, you need to understand that underlying that thing, there is a positive intention. There's a payoff. You're getting something out of it. And you're getting something out of it that you don't know how to get anywhere else. So in other words, you can look at your self-sabotaging behavior as though you are getting a need met that you don't know how to get met in any other way. So I want to give you an example from my own life. When I was younger, like I said, I've told you this a million times, that I used to have stomach aches all the time. I was just chronically sick, chronically something wrong with me, chronically not well, okay? And of course, at the time, I wanted to believe that my sickness was happening to me, that my body was just messed up or whatever, that there was something wrong with me, and it wasn't my fault that I kept getting sick, and I just didn't know why I kept getting sick. But the truth was that at the end of the day, so much of what was going on in my body was due to my actions. It was due to my diet. It was due to my not being able to manage my stress levels. It was things that I was doing to myself to get myself sick over and over and over again, okay? And the reason I was doing that is because I did not know how to give myself permission to rest. I did not know how to give myself permission to say no to things that I didn't want to do. I did not know how to give myself permission to say, I said I would do this thing, but now I don't want to do it. So conveniently, I could just get sick and then poof, I don't have to do anything, right? So there was a positive intention, there was a positive payoff to me being sick all the time, to me never having, to me having stomach aches all the time. There was a positive intention to me chronically being exhausted and chronically not taking care of myself. And that positive intention was, it got me out of stuff that I didn't want to do. It gave me an excuse to lay on the couch and watch TV when I just wanted to rest. And because otherwise in my life, I was continually driving myself. I never gave myself a break. I was in go mode from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and every single moment of my day was scheduled, and I had something going on. I worked. I was in every extracurricular activity. I was a straight A student. Like I say, right, I didn't rest. I didn't give myself a break, and I carried that into my adult life. I was constantly working 2 jobs and going to school and taking care of my partner and shopping for food and exercising 40 hours a day and like all of these things. I continually just had all this stuff on my plate because I didn't know how to say no and I didn't know how to rest. And the only way that I could ever get myself to a place where I would rest or could say no was if I was sick. So it seemed like not taking care of my diet and over exercising and continually driving myself to this place where I got sick was self-sabotaging behavior, but it wasn't. It was my way of resting. It was my way of saying no to things that I didn't want to do. And so as I learned to give myself rest, as I learned to stand in my truth and say, you know what, I don't want to do this thing, I'm going to say no, I just stopped getting sick. I stopped doing the behaviors that led to me getting sick. I found it all of a sudden super easy to eat the diet that I knew worked well for my body, and I didn't have to fight to, like I say, so tied into this sickness thing, I had binge eating stuff going on. I had a weird, like I say, self-sabotaging relationship with food. And again, it all had the positive intention of helping me check out of life when I just couldn't handle it. And so as I learned to be able to handle my life, all of these things just took care of themselves. I didn't have to use discipline to eat a healthy diet anymore. I didn't have to use sickness so that I could rest. I just started to do the things that I needed to do to get the needs met that I was meeting through sickness and meeting through disordered eating in a healthy, positive way, and all of a sudden my self-sabotaging behavior went away. Just by itself. I didn't have to fight it. And so what I want to say to you is, as hard as this may be, and as much as it might feel like you're blaming yourself and saying that you're bad and wrong and that it's your fault that your self-sabotaging behavior is happening, what I want you to look at it instead is, okay, there is a need. I, a human person, have a need that I am not meeting. And so if I don't meet it, my brain will create something to help me get that need met no matter what, right? And right now, because I didn't take the time to positively meet that need or meet that need in a way that is supportive of my health and my happiness, it's got shoved into the shadow and now it's coming out as this self-sabotaging behavior. So what am I getting out of my self-sabotaging behavior? What need am I getting met with this self-sabotaging behavior? So this is not about blame, this is not about shame, this is not about you're mad or bad or messed up or should be doing something different or anything like that. It's to say that you have a need that's going unmet and your psychology is driving you to do the only thing it knows to do to get that need partially met, and that is your self-sabotaging behavior. So what is your positive intention with your self-sabotaging behavior? What need are you getting met? Maybe also, with this, perhaps you feel guilty about this need that you have and you're just not allowing yourself to meet that need, and therefore the self-sabotaging behavior is the only way that it's happening. So that's what it was for me. I felt super guilty resting. I felt like a waste of space if I wasn't accomplishing something. And I couldn't give myself permission to rest unless there was some circumstance where I felt like I had a valid excuse to be doing so, and sickness was just that thing for me, right? So I was not allowing myself to meet my need of rest and pleasure and checking out of the intensity of my life. And I refused to give myself that in a healthy way. So my body just took over for me. My body said, fine, we'll just get sick over and over again. Because the thing was, the need was going to get met. Whether or not I did it in a healthy way or in a self-sabotaging way, the need was going to get met. And I want you to understand that the need that you have, that you're fulfilling through your self-sabotaging behavior, is going to get met. You're not going to transcend it. You're not going to get rid of it. The need is not going to go away. So if you can find a way of first figuring out what it is that you're getting out of your self-sabotaging behavior, second, figuring out what need that's meeting, and then third, figuring out a way of meeting that need in a positive way, and understanding that you're probably going to feel guilt, you're probably going to feel resistance, you're not going to want to do it because you're not used to it, right? But the more you get that need met in a healthy way, the more you're going to see your self-sabotaging behavior just become less and less of an issue because you're getting the need met, right? So that is part 2 of our series on self-sabotaging behavior. You are self-sabotaging because you have a positive intention to get a need met, and this is the way that you know how to do it. So think about that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. If you feel like you need a little help figuring out what might be going on with you, you can always send me a message. I'd love to chat with you about that. Find us on Facebook. I post there every day, Perception Trainers. Check out my book, The Perception Diet, because it's all about this stuff, right? Even if you don't struggle with food, the Perception Diet can totally apply to any self-sabotaging behavior, to any negative behavior that you have in your life, because that's really what it's about. It's about learning to connect in with yourself and get your needs met. And yeah, find me on Instagram. I'm Urban Fruit Bat. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in part 3 next video.